Last time on Gaming Through the Ages, I played Grand Theft Auto 1 from 1997 on the PlayStation 1, which let me freely explore a semi-3D world from a bird's eye view. Killing people, stealing cars and doing missions for local gangs earned me cash, and within 20 minutes I went from being completely broke to having a net worth of over 100k. Turns out my illegal activity got me chased and busted by the cops though. I also kept on getting wasted at the bridge while trying to drive over a large gap in it in a variety of different vehicles. Overall, this game was ridiculously violent, but the open world free play was ultra fun. Will open world adventures involving both freedom and violence continue to be a part of future video games? Keep watching to find out. Welcome to Gaming Through the Ages, the series where we take a look at games from many different genres and consoles through time, from 1975 to now in chronological order. Once we've reached modern times, we start back at 1975 and explore a different group of games. Viewers of this series were given the opportunity to pick any 1998 game made for the PlayStation 1, Nintendo 64 or Sega Saturn. The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time for the Nintendo 64 got the most votes. In this game we play as Link, an elf-like creature known as a Hylian living in the land of Hyrule. Hyrule has been overtaken by a sorcerer known as Ganondorf, who Link must defeat so that he can save his land, free the Seven Sages and rescue Princess Zelda. This is no easy task though, as getting to Ganondorf will involve learning many new skills and battling through many different temples. This game is huge, often taking around 30 hours to complete, and summarising it is very difficult, so obviously we won't see all of it. Anyway, time to start playing. Whoa, do you see that logo? That was so cool to see a 3D spinning logo. Oh. See, I'm shocked by the logo, and now I see this and I'm like, this is incredible. The graphics here are kind of like what we saw with Super Mario, but this seems like it's so much more open. You can see so much more than you could in Super Mario. Wow. Do you seriously get to ride a horse in this? That would be so fun. Oh my goodness. Look at how big this world is. There's like a little city in there. Then you've got an area outside the city, and there's rivers and there's mountains. Like, this just looks like a game that you could go around and just explore. It looks really, really, really cool. And the sound effects sound so good too. Okay, let's just get this started. So here we go, select a file. Oh, okay, so it's kind of like a save file. I love this screen, it just looks so modern and clear, and I guess because my favourite colour is blue, I really like the screen because everything's like shades of blue. Okay, file 1. So we're going to name our little file here. I'll call myself as my YouTube channel. Oh gosh, this takes so long. Let's just call myself Astral, because otherwise it would take forever. Yes, in the vast deep forest of Hyrule, long have I served as the guardian spirit. I am known as the Deku Tree. I'm sorry, I do not know the pronunciation of any of this stuff. So if I say it wrong, don't blame me. The children of the forest, the Kikori, live here. Each Kikori has his or own guardian fairy. However, there is one boy who does not have a fairy. Well, why not? Why do they have fairies in the first place? So obviously this is not set in the real world, because there's children called Kikoris, there's Highland, there's these elves and stuff. There's a lot of plot that's going on here, and that's quite interesting. Like, that they've been able to, through their imagination, create this amazing world and let people play in this world and experience it. So someone's on a horse. Oh my gosh, that looks scary. Oh, that surprised face just made me laugh, sorry. Navy, Navy, where art thou? Come hither. I just like the face because it was like a motionless face, it was just frozen. To compare to real life, because these are the kind of best graphics I've ever seen, but to compare to real life, you can tell it's a game. I can't wait till the day where it's the point where you look at graphics and they're indistinguishable from real life. But at least now in 1998, we actually have graphics that are 3D. Oh, I like the glow effect on that fairy and the particles. Oh, Navy the Fairy, listen to my words, the words of the Deku Tree. Dost they sense it, the climate of evil descending upon this realm? Malevolent forces are now mustering to attack our land of Hyrule. For so long, the Kikori Forest, the source of life, has stood as a barrier, deterring outsiders and maintaining the order of the world. But, before this tremendous evil power, even my power is as nothing. It seems a time has come for the boy without a fairy to begin his journey. The youth whose destiny it is to lead Hyrule to the path of justice and truth. Navy, go now, find our young friend and guide him to me. I do not have much time left. Fly, Navy, fly, the fate of the forest. Nay, the world depends upon thee. Now, just at this point in time, it's very rare that we're hearing much voice acting in games thus far. Now, the Nintendo 64 in particular, it's hard because you're limited to cartridges. Now, this particular cartridge is 32 megabytes. Now, maybe if you had a CD, you would have like around 700 megabytes, and that's a lot more space to store stuff like voice acting and stuff like that. But think of it, this game is huge. It takes more than 30 hours to complete, and people have often said what you're going to see on this Gaming Through the Ages is like more of the preparation for the journey, so we won't really get to see the core adventure and gameplay here, just more of the preparation for it. But when you think about this game and it takes around 30 hours to complete, that is pretty insane in itself, so obviously all of this can't be voice narrated, especially if it has to fit in a 32 megabyte cartridge. Okay, let's see, so here comes the fairy, flying through what looks like a very cramped area. Through that guy's legs! Keep it PG. Okay. We actually heard a voice. Oh, wow. Look at the particles here. Like this place looks so massive. It does feel closed in because there's like trees around it, but it does feel pretty massive. Oh, this is cool, we get to kind of see around the world. I like this dynamic kind of camera moving around. Ooh, that doesn't look 3D, that background. Hello, Astral, wake up. The great Deku Tree wants to talk to you. Astral, get up. I didn't realise I was going to be referred to. I just thought that was the name of the save file. I didn't know I was going to actually be referred to that throughout the whole game. But oh my goodness, look at the lighting on... Whenever I was at my friends' houses and I saw them playing like any Legend of Zelda game, I would always think that the green character is Zelda. And I was saying, oh, can't Zelda jump, or, you know, all of that kind of stuff. And they'd go, that's not Zelda, it's Link. And I'd be like, well, why is it called The Legend of Zelda if the main character isn't even called Zelda? Anyway, the lighting on Link here is incredible. You can actually see the lighting changes depending when the fairy's behind him. It has a different effect to the lighting on him when he goes in the front, but there's no lighting on anything else. It's like Link is the only thing that light is reflecting off here in this image, and the background looks very, very flat. It's almost like a pre-rendered 3D image, but it's 2D, and the only real 3D thing here is Link. So Link is a 3D object, and the background that kind of looks 3D is actually just a 2D image. Can Hyrule's destiny really depend on such a lazy boy? You finally woke up. I'm Navy the Fairy. The great Deku Tree asked me to be your partner from now on. Nice to meet you. I'll do a fairy voice now. The great Deku Tree has summoned you, so let's get going right now. He's just like, oh yeah, okay. This is normal. A fairy just comes and tells me to go talk to some kind of a tree. That's normal. Now let's have a little look around here. I can tell that Link is 3D. If you look down, you can kind of see his front portion, but then if you're here, you can't see as much of his front because of the camera angle is different. So when he's standing here, you can kind of see his nose and face a bit, but when he's at the bottom here, you can't see it. So he is definitely 3D, there's no doubt about that. This background though looks like just that. It looks like a background. I mean, yes, I've got a shadow on the ground, but like these objects definitely don't look 3D. And I mean, I'm standing here and my shadow is perfectly going across as if I was standing on the floor. I mean, it's going across a table and a chair at the same time, and there's no light reflection. And of course, I'm not complaining. These graphics are amazing. I mean, look at this. Already, this is better than Super Mario 64 graphics, shadows-wise, because when you look at the shadows, every shadow was a circle. At least this looks like legs running, or maybe 2 teardrops on the side. Not quite the shape of Link himself, but it's better than just a single circle. But of course, with all these graphics, I'm comparing this to real life. I'm not comparing it to other games I've seen, because this is the best graphics I've ever seen in a game. Wow. Kokiri Forest, look at this place. Somebody's coming. Yahoo! Hi, Astral! Look at that smoothness of the animation. When I went down that ladder, he kind of smoothly went backwards and now he's crawling down. Wow. Let's chat to her. Wow, a fairy! Finally a fairy came to you, Astral! Wow, that's great news. I'm so happy for you. Now, you're a true Kokiri, Astral. Is that right? The Great Deku Tree has summoned you? It's quite an honour to talk to the Great Deku Tree. I'll wait for you here. Get going. Go see the Great Deku Tree. We apparently live in a tree house. This whole world that they've created is so out there. It's so well, I guess the characters kind of look human. But it's just so amazing to think someone has come up with this world and they've drawn this world that doesn't really look that much like real life. I mean, yes, you can tell things are kind of trees and plants, but it's just such a different culture they have here in Hyrule, and it just, wow. Let's just try and find out, where did that fairy fly? She flew between a guy with 2 legs, so we've got to... Did you just appear there? I was walking along and that girl just appeared there. I swear she wasn't there a moment ago. So where did that fairy come from? Is it in here? Ah, there you are! Obviously here they're trying to save some of the resources and processing power on the Nintendo 64, so they only have that guy visible, or other people in general visible, when you're near them. Okay, I see. Oh, can you get away from me? Your legs are just so wide. How do you slide along the ground? You're not even walk. Look, I'm actually normal. I can walk. But you are just weird. You just slide along with the ground with your legs out, and you let fairies fly between your legs. You're just so weird. Go away. I can speak. You're not allowed to leave the forest. The Great Deku Tree said that if a Kokori leaves the woods, he or she will die. But I was just told to go and see this Deku... Oh my gosh. Okay, fine. Let's figure out what to do here. I wonder if I can kind of sneak past him or I can kill him so then I can go past. Where exactly... Cool, look at this place. There's hearts up here, but I think I've already got full health. I didn't jump. What button did I press to jump? Oh, okay, so this has got some kind of an auto jump system. And I can't... I'm pressing all the buttons. I can't seem to jump myself. So obviously in this game there's like an auto jump as opposed to a button to jump. This is like a small little town here, or I don't even know what you'd call this, if this could even be classified as a town. But this village, or whatever you want to call it, isn't actually that big at all. Well, it's pretty big for a game, but it's not really that big to compare to places in real life. And already I'm lost. I can't even find my own treehouse. Oh, there it is. How did I not see that? I've got a problem. I'll wait for you here. Go get going. Go see the Great Deku Tree. But that guy won't let me past. He just stands there with his legs apart, telling me I'll die if I go past him. Maybe I have to do some stuff in the village first before I'm allowed to go out. So they've got their own little language there on the signs, which we don't understand, but then you have to have a close look at the sign, press the button, and the English language appears underneath. House of the Great Mido, boss of the Kokori. Can I talk to the boss and maybe I can get past? Ooh, once again, what are we looking at? I can see straight away that these chests here are 3D. Link is 3D, the chests are 3D. Those pots are not. They are like pre-rendered. Oh, yes, I can go around them. You kind of just see that the pot here looks like a part of the background. But the chest, on the other hand, you can see that these are really 3D. Can I open them? You got a blue rupee. That's 5 rupees. Oh, so that must be currency or something? I've got 10 rupees. I think that's what you call them. A heart. Okay, and a green rupee, that's 1. Okay, so green rupees is like the base currency, and then when you get a blue one, that's worth 5. So I've got kind of like 11 currency, $11, 11 rupees, whatever you want to call it. Oh, a fairy finally came to you. Now you have a lot to learn. The best place to go to learn some new skills is the Forest Training Center. It's on the hill just above here. Okay, we'll go there. Maybe if I learn some skills, then I'll be able to get out. Forest Training Center. Don't cut signs. Read them carefully. Okay. Oh, there's a lot of signs. Thrust attack. To thrust with your sword. I've got a sword. Whoa, this is cool. Look at this. It's like you can see the quest status, equipment. All I can see is boots and this little green outfit. I cannot see a sword here. So where am I going to find a sword? Cut grass with your sword. I don't know where my sword is. Did I leave it at home? Oh cool, I didn't even notice. If you look at the bottom right corner, there's a map. And as you kind of turn around, you can kind of see yourself spinning on that map. That's cool. Hole of Z. Let's go through this small hole. Oh, it's gone into first person. That's cool. Oh crud, here comes the boulder. The boulder itself wasn't really that blurry, but these walls are quite blurry. When you look at it, it's kind of like they've gotten like a 2D texture, and the texture is very, very blurry. And the ground, it's doing that same thing with the ground, where the ground kind of, where the flowers and the grass on the ground, it kind of pops up, and you don't have individual grass blades. It's kind of like the grass blades is either built into the textures on the wall, it's built into the flat surface of the ground, or it's this thick like extra layer in a way. Oh cool, I found some more money. Where am I going? Oh, what's this? Visit the house of the Know-It-All Brothers. The naming here. To get answers to all your item related questions. Okay, what's in here? Oh my goodness, have I just found a time machine? Oh, I found a sword. Okay, well that's good too. A glowing magical thing, and then just a little pointy sword pops out. You got the Kokiri sword. On the equipment subscreen, select it with the cursor and equip it with A. This is a hidden treasure of the Kokiri, but you can borrow it for a while. Be sure to practice with it before you really fight. Okay, so let's try and go to that equipping screen. I love that 3D effect. That is so cool, where you're looking at like 3D menus. There's a box around you. When I see this actual 3D spinning around like a 3D cube looking around, it makes me feel like this game was actually made for somebody who has like 4 screens. So maybe you had a screen on this side, screen on this side, screen here and screen there. Imagine that if you had some kind of a setup with lots of screens around you. It would make you feel a lot more in the game as opposed to just like a single screen in front of you. That would be so cool to have like a surround screen set up. So it's equipped it now. Aha! So I have got a sword now. So now that I've got a sword, maybe that guy will let me through. One thing I really love about this game is you see like the little blue and yellow particles. It adds a lot of atmosphere to this game. You just see them floating around. It makes this place seem quite magical. What's a little bit jarring is when you're walking up and then suddenly someone just appears in front of you. It's like, whoa, where did you come from? And what is he trying to do? It's like he's trying to pull a rock out of the ground, but he's not really having much success. Can I? Oh, that's embarrassing. He's just struggling for all this time and I'm just like, yeah, I can do it. Here we go. So obviously, my character is stronger than... Oh, more money, awesome. So obviously what this is trying to tell us is that our character is stronger than these other characters. Oh look, you can actually see he's put the sword away on his back. That is so cool. Now, I remember in Super Mario 64, not everything was 3D, and I just want to see if I can spot what is and isn't 3D. Okay, that sign is 3D, definitely. These buildings are 3D. Is that rock 3D? Yes, because I'm seeing other sides of the rock. What about when we're going past here? Aha. That fence disappears. See, that is the issue when you have these 2D objects here. Like this fence, you wouldn't notice that it's not 3D from this angle, but as soon as we go dead on, you can see that that fence that we're standing next to, it just has no depth. So that is a 2D object. So once again, like Super Mario 64, this is not a fully 3D world. A lot of it is 3D, but there is definitely some hidden 2D cheekiness in here. Okay, let's try and get back to that guy again. Yeah, there you are with your big... Wait, was there water here before? Oh, okay, so maybe I was trying to go to the wrong place and really I could have just come seeing this tree. And this guy must just be the other guy's twin brother. Why do these people all stand with their legs out like that? Like, what are they hoping for by doing that? So annoying. Hey you, Mr. No Fairy, what's your business with the Great Deku Tree? Without a fairy, you're not even a real man. What? You've got a fairy? Say what? The Great Deku Tree actually summoned you? What? Why would he summon you and not the Great Midou? This isn't funny. I don't believe it. You aren't even fully equipped yet. How did you think you're going to help the Great Deku Tree without both a sword and shield ready? So he still won't let us through. Oh my gosh. What? You're right. I don't have my equipment ready, but if you want to pass through here, you should at least equip a sword and shield. Sheesh. So how am I going to find a shield now? All I found in that glowing box that I thought had a time machine in it, it just had a sword in it, not a shield as well. So now I've got to somehow find a shield. Does this girl know where I can find a shield? Midou won't let you go see the Great Deku Tree. Oh, that bum. That bum. I don't know why he's being so mean to everyone. At least the language here is a lot more friendly than what we saw in Grand Theft Auto last year. What he said is true though. The forest. Strange things have been happening here lately. You need to be ready for anything. You better find a weapon. You can buy a shield at the shop. Yeah, I found the sword hidden in the forest, but I can buy a shield at the shop. Sure, let's go to the shop. Where's the shop? Sarah's house. What am I going to do at Sarah's house? House of Twins. So the people who are living in this house are twins. They won't even put their name on the front, they just call themselves twins. So in other words, the twins living in that house back there would probably be the only twins in this whole little town here. Or that house could be full of lots of different twins, and anyone who is born as a twin has to live in that house. I don't know, the logic here is pretty crazy. Oh, the shop! Okay. Hi Astral, look this way. Look over here with the Z and talk to me with the A. Oh, I love how they talk about the controls of a game in the game. It really throws you out of the game. Okay. Yes, that's how you use a fairy. Use a fairy. It's so great that you finally have a fairy partner. I'll teach you how to talk to people using a fairy. When a fairy flies near a personal thing, you do this and that and this. You might just skip through this. Okay, goodbye. It looks like there's somebody in the shop praying that someone will come and buy something. And the shopkeeper looks so short that he can't even really see anyone, so he just keeps on jumping all day to see someone. Why did they build the bench so high if he can't even use it properly? What's he going to spend his whole day jumping? Or maybe he does it for exercise. But seriously, there's a tree stump right here, so he could just move that there and then he can stand on it and not do that all day. That's ridiculous. Okay, let's just chat to him. This is just silly. Welcome! Shop around. Okay, where is our shield? Stick a long branch. You can use it as a weapon, but it will break. Why would I buy that? Oh, Deku shield. Once equipped, you can defend with R. If you set on fire, it will burn. Oh no. Why would I want a shield that can burn? 40 rupees. Oh, you kidding? I've got 34 rupees. Okay, so obviously I'm going to need to go and get some more money. Money's not really hard to get. You don't even need a job to get money in this game. All you do is just find money that's hidden under rocks on the ground and go steal it from people's houses. Can't believe this game promotes stealing. Money just sitting there on the ground, and somehow I think I found money in the grass or something. But there we go, I've got enough money now. I just walked around a little bit. Like, that's what the shopkeeper should do. Instead of standing there in his business, jumping up and down, trying to sell stuff for money, he could just walk around the town and go into people's houses, steal the money and do that kind of thing. Bye. Why does he do this? Like, Link looks telekinetic. Everything he picks up, he can do this and it just floats above his hands. If he seriously has these powers to make things float, and why does he even need a sword and shield? He could just pick up his enemies and throw them to space with his powers. Okay, great. I look pretty cool now with my shield and sword. Oh, okay, so I can put my shield out like this and move around. If you want to see the Great Deku Tree, you should at least equip a sword and shield. Oh, what's that? Oh, you have a Deku shield. And what's that? Oh, it's a sword. Oh, good grief. Well, even with all that stuff, a wimp is still a wimp, huh? I, the Great Middo, will never accept you. So that guy is the Great Middo, so little does he know that I went into his house and stole about 15 bucks from him to buy this shield. Will never accept you as one of us. Shoot, how did you get to be the favourite of Saria and the Great Deku Tree, huh? Oh yes, that silly guy's finally stood away. I can go past now. Yes, okay. Oh crud. What was that? Can I cut him? Cut. Oh no, they bite you. Wait, I'm gonna cut these. Yes, yeah, they're not that scary. You can cut them. Oh, you got a stick. You can carry 10 sticks, but don't waste them. What are you going to do with a stick? Got another stick. Great Deku Tree, I'm back. Oh, he's got like a nose and a moustache. Oh, Navy, thou hast returned. Astral, welcome. Listen carefully to what I, the Deku Tree, am about to tell thee. Thy slumber these past moons have been restless and full of nightmares. As the servants of evil gain strength, a vile climate pervades the land and causes nightmares to those sensitive to it. Verily, thou hast felt it. Astral, the time has come to test out thy courage. I have been cursed. I need you to break the curse with your wisdom and courage. Dost they have courage enough to undertake this task? Yes. Well, as if you would say no, then the game wouldn't continue. Then enter. You want me to go into your mouth? Navy the fairy, thou must aid Astral. How do I know this isn't all a trick and he just really wants to eat us? And Astral, when Navy speaks, listen well to her words of wisdom. I don't know if I trust going into your mouth, but since everything's a little weird here, I'll just trust you. Inside the Deku Tree. Nice description of where I am. One thing I have noticed here about the music here, there's actually quite a bit more depth to the music now. It's not all like chip tunes like it used to be. It just sounds a lot more natural. It almost sounds, you know, what you'd hear in real life. Oh crud, not those again. Okay, let's climb up. Where am I going in here? Aha! That ladder is not 3D. See, it disappears when I go on the side. That is another 2D object pretending to be 3D. All these cheeky 2D objects trying to get the spotlight in this 3D game. So you gotta jump down there to get a heart. You have a decent amount of health in this game, I've got to admit. Unlike those games like Ghosts and Goblins where you get 2 hits and you're dead, that was just insane. These modern games now from the 90s are so much easier than the games 10 years ago in the 80s. Look at this wall. The vines growing on it give a rough surface. Maybe you can climb up it, Astral. Oh, a chest, a chest! What's in this chest? Is it a time machine? No! It's a piece of paper! It's so dramatic when you open these chests. You think you've just found a portal to another world, but then you open it and it's just a brown old piece of paper called a dungeon map. Blue chambers are places you have already visited. Your current location is the flashing room. Oh, it's cool that you kind of find maps in this game. The sense of adventure here is just amazing. Oh my goodness, what? There's lots of floors in this place. B2, B1, floor 1, 2, 3. Oh my goodness. Okay, let's keep going. That auto jump freaks me out. What is... He's shooting out... Oh! He just hurt me again. Oh, you are so cheeky. Wait, wait. Ah, he keeps... How do I attack this guy? Oh, I knocked... That is so cool. I used my own shield to knock his nut back at him. Oh, forgive me, master. If I give you a clue, will you let me go? When you jump off a high cliff, if you hold the stick forward, you will roll on the ground when you land and won't get hurt from the fall. Well, try it if you are feeling bold. Oh, a hut. Fantastic. Okay, let's go through. Are we about to see a massive high cliff? What's in this chest? Is this another time machine? It's a slingshot. A fairy slingshot? What, does that mean you put a fairy on it and it slingshots a fairy? Oh, so you need a Deku seed. Oh, that's clever. I can climb up this part of the wall. I'm kind of trapped here. I don't really know how you get out. How do you get out of this place? I knew it was a trick. This tree just wanted to eat me so I can be trapped inside his tree trunk forever. Do I use a slingshot for something? Okay, I've equipped the slingshot. Oh, and you use the slingshot to shoot the ladder to get it. Okay, there we go. I figured it out. It almost had me there. Okay, let's try and get higher up this tree. Oh, crud. Ah, no. I can't believe that spider pushed me off. Now I've got to make my way all the way back up there. Oh, that is so cool. Okay, let's quickly go up. Please don't see me. Yes, the spider didn't see me. Okay, we'll get up higher. That slingshot really came in handy though. Here we go. I'm up near the top of the troll, crud, spider. Will my shield catch on fire here? Maybe I can try and light that fire thing up. Oh, you press the button. Okay, now that makes sense. And we found a compass. Now you can see locations of many hidden things. Cool. I'm still locked in here. Wait a sec. These Deku sticks. Yes, you can light it. Ah, now that makes perfect sense. Maybe I could light my shield and do this or that, but now I get it. Okay. I've got to admit that's clever. I think I'm going to get ready to finish up at this point, but just looking at this game, the graphics are very comparable to what we saw with Super Mario World, although from the intro screen it looks like some of the places and worlds you may have seen here could have been a bit bigger. Like, I guess we never saw an area, like just in this setup phase, we've kind of been stuck in a forest and stuff. We haven't really been across any open plains, but I guess maybe if you played it for longer, you might go across open plains and stuff that you saw in the intro. Oh. That was a cheap way to die. I ran out of slingshot bullets and then I couldn't kill the spiders and trying to go up. Oh. So obviously you can see that this game is absolutely huge. There's so much story in here. You've got this whole other world. Like, this is not set on a normal place on Earth. This is a whole other place. It's 3D, you can explore. It is absolutely insane and incredible. Now, the fact that there was 2D objects here hiding among the 3D world, I kind of feel a little bit cheated, like that everything you see isn't really 3D, but at the same time, when you play this game, you're going to be immersed in the game. You're not going to be standing up going, is this 3D? Is this 3D, and trying to see things without depth like I was doing. Now that 3D games are starting to become a little more common, the one thing that's still bugging me that I saw in Super Mario 64 2 years ago, and this game, is that the textures on the walls are still quite blurry. I guess I can't really complain about the blurry textures on the walls and everything like that, because it is 1998 now, and the 5th generation consoles of today that we see, they're kind of like the first generation of dedicated 3D devices. Sure, you had some 3D games in previous generations, but they were nothing like the 3D you're seeing here. So the feeling I'm getting here is that this game is massive, it's awesome, but I feel it would have been more suited to a 6th generation console than the 5th generation console. And 6th generation consoles are just around the corner. I mean, just this year in 1998, in Japan they've released the first 6th generation console, the Dreamcast. I haven't really heard much about it, but I'd love to check out the Dreamcast sometimes and see where these 6th generation consoles will take us. Will individual flowers on the ground no longer be just a layer of flowers? Will they be individual flapping things? Will we still have blurry wall and ground textures, or will they be much more clear and photorealistic? And what about the polygon count? Will the polygon count be higher? I kind of feel like we've had this taste of 3D, and this game was showing us what a 3D world can bring in. Like, I mean, I was getting lost in our 3D village. I couldn't even find where our house was. Imagine when the worlds are even bigger and more detailed, and sure, the graphics in these 3D worlds might be a little blurry compared to the 2D games we've played recently, and I feel like most future games that are made should be made in 3D. And I can't wait to see what kind of 3D graphics the next generation of video game consoles is going to show us. Anyway, time to move on to the next game. So where to next from here? The year in the next episode will be 1999, which introduced the first 6th generation console in the US, the Sega Dreamcast. This console was originally released in Japan a year earlier, however its US launch was much more successful. This console had a relatively large controller that had a slot in the top allowing you to plug in a VMU, aka Visual Memory Unit. Its basic purpose was to be a memory card for the Sega Dreamcast, but it could do so much more than that due to the built-in LCD screen, which can even be seen when the VMU is plugged into the controller. This allowed players to look down at the controller to see various stats such as their health bar, and even play mini-games on the VMU itself, which had a directional pad and buttons, which is extremely cool for just a memory card. The VMU also had a real-time clock, file manager, and the ability to play sound. The console itself supported an optical disc format called GD-ROM, which was mostly used to prevent piracy that was common among standard CD-ROMs. The plus side is that the GD-ROMs had pits on the disc packed more closely together, resulting in a higher storage capacity of around 1 GB, which is around 25% more storage than standard CD-ROMs. The Dreamcast also supported VGA video output and had an online service known as SegaNet. As cool as the Dreamcast is now in 1999, however, it appears interest is quickly dying off due to Sony announcing their soon-to-be-released successor for the PlayStation 1. It seems that some people are holding off buying a new Sega Dreamcast to instead see what the PlayStation 2, due to be released next year in the year 2000, has to offer. The Dreamcast sold more than 225,000 units in the first 24 hours alone. However, it appears things could potentially go down south for Sega if the PS2 steals the glory of the 6th generation. For the next episode, pick a game made in 1999 for the PlayStation 1, Nintendo 64 or Sega Dreamcast. I'll see you guys next time on Gaming Through the Ages.